Wembanyama. Oh, goes down and puts it down!
I think anyone who watches the NBA and has any common sense knew that Victor Wembanyama was a special talent. It really doesn't take a genius to figure that out. He's worth that generational talent label, but even though he's clearly a generational talent, he's somehow even better than I expected him to be as a rookie. And the way he's playing and growing in his rookie season is just as intriguing as it is terrifying. While he's not perfect by any means, he's somehow surpassing likely expectations we would have had for him in his second NBA season as a rookie. But quickly before we go any further, if you're new and like basketball, I'd really appreciate it if you would like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell to be notified whenever I release a video. I make videos about basketball all the time, and liking and subscribing are the two best ways can help me out in the YouTube algorithm, help support the channel, and help me reach my goal of 10,000 subscribers by the end of the season. Let's try and get 100 likes on this video so YouTube will recommend to others. Anyways, let's talk about the basketball alien. Obviously, we all know about his physical tools that are otherworldly, 7'4" with an 8-foot wingspan. However, it really doesn't get old seeing him tower over even tall players. I mentioned in his video about his battle with Giannis that he's the first player I've ever seen that makes Giannis not look tall in comparison. And when you combine that with the fluidity and quickness of a wing, you get a player with a radius on both ends of the floor that really covers the entire floor when you think about it. Offensively, he has an absurd catch radius and a shooting pocket that really is unstoppable and hard to contest. And defensively, he quite literally can cover the entire half court and get from end to end in transition in only a few steps. But while his height and athleticism alone are special, his flexibility really stands out the most because it's extremely rare. His bend and fluidity would be special if he was 6'7", let alone 7'4", which benefits his game in a few ways. His frame makes it very hard to contain on finishing attempts, which is why he already is one of the best lob threats the sport has ever seen. But he also has the flexibility to find angles that are already going to make an unstoppable move even more unstoppable. And it also helps with durability because he's not a stiff mover, so he absorbs contact better and deals with the impact of landings better than most his height probably do. Wemby already has shown flashes of absurd offensive ability since the start of his rookie season. A handle that nobody that tall should have any business having, creates an upside that truly doesn't make sense, and also an ability to do traditional big stuff as well, which given his height, athleticism, and his wingspan, is even harder to stop than it is with even other great bigs. But what really has been encouraging is his offensive growth. He's going from showing flashes of upside to showing legit substance on offense, especially as a scorer. The efficiency is getting better as the season goes along, and I really want to highlight his January in particular, because what he did in January offensively is ridiculous. In 14 games played during the month, he averaged 24 points per game, 9.6 rebounds per game, and 3.3 assists per game on 50.6, 32.4, 83.1 splits, 60.5 true shooting percentage with a 37.1 usage rate in 26.7 minutes per game. He was productive, he was efficient, he carried a lot of offensive responsibility, and even on a minutes restriction, he couldn't be stopped from producing at an all-star level. He showed ability both on the ball that's horrifying, and off the ball ability that's equally as horrifying. On its own, it would be hard to stop his height, athleticism, or skill, let alone all three of them combined, and he's just scratching the surface. The other area I've been impressed with on offense has been his playmaking. While he's far from perfect, you can tell he has the baseline of being able to read the floor. You can see over the defense, obviously. He has really good vision. His feel for the game is underrated in this regard, He has creativity as a passer that nobody that tall should have, and while he does need to polish up a few things in terms of processing and decision making as a passer, specifically the fact that he can get a bit ambitious, what he does in this regard is truly special. And with how much gravity he draws now and will continue to draw in the future whenever he touches the basketball, having these kind of playmaking tools and instincts will only make him more unstoppable. I don't think he's going to be Nikola Jokic as a passer. If he ever becomes that, it's even more over for the league than it already looks like it's going to be. But I do think he can be a really good playmaker, especially for his position, which given everything else in his game, is still pretty horrifying. And of course, we have to talk about his defense, where it's not just about the potential and the upside and how good he can be. He's already an elite defensive player, which for a 20-year-old rookie is pretty rare. He's leading the league in blocks at 3.2 per game, which on its own is pretty impressive because he would be the first rookie in NBA history to lead the league in blocks. But what makes it even more impressive is it's not even close. The next closest player is at 2.7 per game. And on top of that, he's also doing it in 28.6 minutes per game. Per 75 possessions, he's averaging nearly 4 blocks per game. A rookie leading the league in blocks per game while playing under 30 minutes per game, while also having incredible foul discipline for a rookie is absurd. He averages just 2.3 fouls per game, and that's 2.9 per game per 36 minutes, so it's not just a product of playing under 30 minutes per game. He's only fouled at once, and he also only has 7 games where he has 4 or more fouls. All of these numbers are more insane when you watch the tape, because it's not like he's a conservative paint defender that is only in drop and only is defending at the rim. He's not doing a lot of help side or moving around. He covers the entire floor defensively. He's contesting jumpers. He's playing multiple defensive coverages. He's reading opposing offenses. And if he's this good now on offense, I can't even imagine what it's going to look like in his prime. Now, no player is perfect, and Wemby is no exception to that. And for me, the main thing is polishing up the jumper, and actually more specifically, polishing up the shot selection. He's a very confident shooter, and I would rather have a young player be overconfident than underconfident because you can't really teach confidence, but he also isn't a great shooter yet. And when you watch him play, I do think that it's something that is noticeable, but I don't think it's something you should be too concerned about either, considering how much of a positive impact player he is in the other areas of the game. And it's also something that's very common for young players to struggle with early on, and we've seen a lot of great players in the past have similar struggles in their rookie season, and they've gone on to be incredible players. And I think over time, the shot selection will get better. So here's the thing about Victor Wembanyama. It's very hard to project a ceiling for a player like this, because we don't really have anything to base it off of due to the fact we haven't seen anything like this before. But the bigger reason for me is he's improving at a rate that is unprecedented. I expected him to get better, but I didn't expect him to make a legitimate leap that most players take a few years to get to over the course of 3 months. He's gone from a promising rookie that definitely has his ups and downs, and the efficiency wasn't great, and you saw that he really wasn't the most positive impact player, to by January, he's legit all-star caliber. And I'm not saying he should have made the all-star team because the whole season matters, but it really isn't something that we have seen before in terms of improvement. It's easy to say that his ceiling is one of the best, if not the best player in the NBA. But it's not as simple as that either. Of course he's going to be great if he stays healthy, but I have a hard time wrapping my head around what the best version of Wemby is going to look like. If he's already 20 points, 10 rebounds, 3 assists, while leading the league in blocks as a rookie on a minutes restriction, what's he going to look like when he fully figures it out? When it comes to the best players in the NBA, what separates them is their understanding of how feared and unstoppable they are. and understanding that better than anyone else. Nikola Jokic, Steph Curry, LeBron James, Luka Doncic, among others, they understand better than anyone else how unstoppable they truly are, no matter what defenses throw at them. And I think Victor Wembanyama is already starting to figure it out, which is terrifying because he's about 2 to 3 years ahead of schedule in that regard. I know it's going to sound unrealistic, but we kind of have to be unrealistic when talking about something that was previously thought to only be possible in video games. If/when Victor Wembanyama puts it all together and really figures it out, he very well could be the most unstoppable player this sport has ever seen. But that's the end of this video. If you made it to this point, thank you so much. Again, haven't already, like, subscribe, hit notification bell, I'm notified whenever I release a video. I'm making videos about basketball all the time, and liking and subscribing are the 2 best ways to get me on the YouTube algorithm, help support the channel, and I'll be reaching my goal of 10,000 subscribers by the end of the season. Let's try and get 100 likes on this video so YouTube will recommend it to others. Let me know what you think about Victor Wembanyama in the comment section below. How good do you think he can be? How good is he right now? I'd love to hear all of that. I had a lot of fun making this video. I always like making content about him because of how absurd he is as a player. He's one of the most impressive players I've ever seen. So that's my thoughts on him. If you have any thoughts, again, feel free to leave those down below. But with that being said, have a nice day, and I'll see you guys in the next one.